Hi guys, I hope we're all doing well today. And I've not posted in a few weeks because I've had a lot going on with family and just a lot of this personal stuff I've got going on. It's just look at my hair and you can just tell I've been fucking through it. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk for a bit. I just wanted to talk to myself really. Um, just about my life. Just about life in general and just how I feel. And the title is related to happiness. The title is related to how, as a happy person, I always smile, and I just hate it sometimes. I really do hate it. I'm always smiling, like honestly. I'm always that type of person who is just smiling, who is laughing, who is always, feel like they're in their own sort of world they're just surrounded by happiness, they're just surrounded by beauty. And it's weird because I don't know why I'm like that. Like I remember there was this one time at work, and I was just smiling. Like I was literally putting the stock out on the shelves, and I was just smiling. And then my coworker saw me. She was like, "What are you smiling for? You're so weird." And she was just like, "Why are you smiling?" And I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh shit, why am I smiling?" Like I would literally just smile for no reason. And some people tell me it's a gift. I've had customers who would come up and tell me I've got a lovely smile, or whenever, I serve the same people every time, every single week, they always tell me that my smile brightens their day. And it's nice to hear things like that. It's nice to know that you simply expressing your happiness is changing someone's, day. And it's nice to get comments like that. But when you look at your life from your own understanding, it's like, what is there to smile about? I don't know why I always smile. Like generally, I've not got any good thing going on. I'm fucking broke. My family's falling apart. I've got an exam I'm resitting. Fucking acne's breaking out. You can see that big fucking spot over there. My diet's shit because I go to the gym, right? My diet's just fucking off it, and it's just a load of other things as well. And there's problems to everything. There's always a solution. There's always a way to fix them things, and obviously I've been trying. But even whilst I'm in this moment of weakness, even whilst I feel like my life is falling apart and this is like the worst year of my life, I still smile. I still feel happy. I still feel the need to express, enjoyment. I still feel the need to put a bright smile on my face and show it to other people. And sometimes it's a good thing. Like sometimes I'm glad that I'm always happy, that I'm always, making people think that I'm this happy person. But because people perceive me to be someone who's always happy, someone who is a bundle of enjoyment, because I'm perceived to be that way, whenever I express sadness, or whenever I don't know, whenever I'm just not happy, it's like it's not normal. Like it's hard for them to understand. Like I'm not sure how to say, like when you're someone who's always happy, you're someone who's always smiling, and then all of a sudden you go off and you start talking about your problems, you start talking about the things you deal with, it confuses them. They start to think, how can this person who is always happy, who's always, expressing happiness, who's always been kind, have all these things going on in their life, yet they still manage to be happy? And you could say it's a good thing, but at the same time, there are people who are envious of it. I've had people who will tell me to my face, "Why are you always smiling? What are you so happy for?" Like honestly, I would have people like that come up to my face and just tell me like, "Why are you always smiling?" Like I just simply can't help it. My life's gone to shit and I'm still smiling. And I have no reason to smile. But I think simply having no reason to smile or be happy just shows how good things are coming. I've always believed that good things will come to those who wait, and so I've just been not just waiting and doing nothing. I've been making improvements, I have been making changes, and hopefully those good things do come. But just being known as this happy person, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Mostly because it also just feels like it's something it's a standard you've got to like maintain. Like people will always, when they hear your name or when they see you, they will expect happiness. They will expect you to smile at them and for them to smile back. They will expect you to make them happy. And because all these expectations build up, it adds more pressure to me. Because like sometimes I go into work and I'm just upset. I feel like shit, I don't want to work. But then as soon as I see my coworker, as soon as I see someone I know, I just smile. And I'm just like, hi, how you doing? You know, life's great. You know, life's fucking shit, what it really is. You know, it's just... It's weird how easily I can just put on a mask and make it seem as if everything's alright. You know, it disgusts me sometimes how easily I can lie and how easily I can change my personality. But I guess it's one of the costs of being someone who doesn't vent, someone who doesn't open up, because I never tell anyone anything, you know. More so because I don't have anyone to tell anyone anything. That might be the main reason. But I've been so used to keeping things to myself, keeping things inside, you know, dealing with problems on my own, that expressing it feels weird. Like, there was this one time where I did express it and I absolutely regret it, but I will tell you guys about it. It was this time after I left the cinema, right? I went to cinema alone. I went to watch Sentimental Value. Absolutely amazing. I literally cried in the film. It was so good. But on a walk home, it just made me deep everything, and that's what I hate, is when I watch such a touching film, it makes me reflect on my own life, and then I start to feel like shit. But I was walking home anyway, and I just started to think about like how fucking lonely I am, like how I go to the gym every single week by myself, how I go to the cinema every single week by myself, how I do everything by myself, fucking go to concerts by myself, everything I do is always by myself. And it just made me just like generally just think about everything, like how I've never had like a proper locked in best friend that I've been friends with for more than 5 years. I've never had someone that I talk to like every single day since my ex. And the thing is, when I got on the bus, I just started crying, and I was just really upset. Pardon me if you heard that, pardon me. But I was just really upset, you know. I had no one to talk to. I felt broken. I just felt empty, you know. I felt alone. I felt everything, and I just felt really bad about myself. You know, how I'm always pushing people away. How I tell myself to put friendships on hold so I can focus on my family, so I can focus on building my wealth and ensure that my family live a financially free life. And because I have things like these, when it comes to the times where I could build relationships, the times where I could meet with people who want to meet with me, I always turn it down. And it sucks to be that type of person, but because of that, I'm feeling this, you know, weight of negativity. But anyways, when I got on a bus and I was crying, obviously the first person I went to was my ex. I hadn't talked to her in months. And before all of this, you know, we were proper locked in. I would talk to her every single day, you know. Oh God, I really did love her, and it was just great. It was honestly one of the best times of my life. Like, genuinely, I was so happy. But I won't go all into how it ended and all that, because that's for another video. But after a few months of like no talking, I ended up calling her, and we are on good terms. So it's not like, you know, we haven't talked since. We've been talking like every now and then. But when I called her, it'd been a while, and then I was just crashing out, like literally on the flipping B network bus to fucking where I live. I was literally just crying my eyes out and just saying how I feel so lonely, how I feel like I have no one to speak to, how I feel so empty, and I just feel like my life's gone to shit, you know. Like, I was just venting, you know, because she never perceived me to be that person, you know. I was with her for nearly 2 years in the relationship, and there were very, very little times where I would open up about how I feel, but never, absolutely never would I do that. And it weren't until that night that she saw, you know, the real me. Because if I were to tell you her perception of me, she would think of me as this guy who's got loads of friends, who's got, you know, he's chatting up girls and he just looks good, and it's just like, because she's been with me for 2 years, she knows how much of a bundle of enjoyment I am, you know, how happy I always am. She will perceive my life to be just perfect. And obviously when she heard everything I told her on the phone about how I have no friends, how no girl talks to me, how how I just feel like shit. It's just, it was overwhelming to her. Like, the thing is, I didn't call her for advice. I didn't call her because I wanted her to give me some reassurance. I called her because I had no one else. I had my sisters, but it's different with family. There's no chance I can open up to family like that. It's so much different. But I just called her just to hear her voice. And that's all I wanted to hear. I didn't call for advice or anything like that. I just wanted to hear someone, and I wanted someone to listen to me. And yeah, she's pretty shit with advice, if I'm being real. She's trying to give me some little what's it, little, I don't know what I'm saying. She's trying to give me some little advice every now and then, but it's not very good. I'm good at giving out advice, but when it comes to receiving it, I'm just, guys, don't even watch my videos, because like, I do give out good advice, but half the things I struggle to do by myself. But where was I up to? But yeah, it was good to just hear her voice, to know that she listened to me. But I regret it a lot. I really, really do regret it. Mostly because I don't ever want anyone to see that side of me, that side of just sadness. No. Every time I think of it, I'm just like, fuck me. I'm just like, oh. It felt good to release it in that moment, but when you reflect on it, it's like, for fuck's sake, This girl I absolutely loved, and I've been trying to get back with, but she doesn't want me. Now knows that I'm this weak guy who's just like, fucking sad. And it's just, I regret it a lot, and I really do. But she's way ahead of me in life, and I'm way behind. I'm fucking broke and everything, so it's like I can't, expect her to get back with me or anything like that, and I've accepted that a little bit. I've accepted it a little bit, but that's the reality of life, isn't it? I'm gonna pause for a second because I need to wee. Okay, I'm back now. Sorry for the pause, but where was I up to? Yeah, opening up. Won't do that shit again. I think I will, just not to her. But I highly recommend it though. It felt good. Like, honestly, it felt really good to get it all out and just have someone's voice listen to you. If you have someone and you're scared to open up to them, I really recommend it. It's the best thing you can do. But yeah, being a happy person whilst living in an evil world is like, how do you do it? I have people who will literally ask me, how are you always happy? Why are you always smiling? How do you do it? And I'm just like, I was just born this way, mate. I do it like it's a flex. I was just born this way. Like, I just can't help it, And it's a blessing, if you're someone, if you're watching this and you feel the same as me, it's a blessing, honestly. Because the world is so depressing, people in general have become a lot more negative. People have become a lot more antisocial and just a lot more judgmental, and it just seems like the world is a much darker place ever since, the rise of AI, the rise of all this technology, and just everything, social media, everything. Since all of that, I just feel like we've lived in such a negative world, and so expressing your happiness is the least you can do, no matter how shit your personal circumstances are. If you can express that happiness, if you can show appreciation, and you can simply smile, good things will come your way, and you will be able to overcome things that take people ages to overcome. And it's not a matter of a race, it's not a matter of comparison, but you'll be able to deal with negatives much easier. You'll be able to just advance much quicker. And so that'll be all I have to say. It's good to be a happy person. You may not like it, like me, but it has its benefits. And when you're older, especially, like, even, I don't mean like older as in like 60s, 50s. I mean like if you're young and then you're in like your early 20s or your late 30s or your 40s, I don't care however old you are, it will come back at you. When you get to that age, you will be a good person. And that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching, guys.